I was flat out told that it's going to be very hard for you to find evidence of Black women's activism in these records. I had to go to the archives. I had to explore the records of organizations and individuals and workplaces and of the government. And so when I approached these records, I thought, I'm not going to find anything. There's not going to be anything that I can use. And I was really worried because I thought, well, I know that there's a history of Black working women's activism because I've seen it, I've witnessed it. And so I went to the records and I found the exact opposite of what I had been told would have happened. Instead of not being able to find evidence of Black working women's actions, I found them all over the record. I found their names, I found their actions, I found summations of their work. And so I began to question, if they are in the record, how did they not make it into the history books, right? Because the archival record then gets read and interpreted by historians who then write books. And so for me, then the critique is with the record because the record is not complete. So there's a critique about the record, but there also is a critique about the historical practice that would have erased Black women and that has the historical practice that has erased Black women from history books. And so when I encountered the record and I encountered all of these references to Black women and I encountered Black women writing about their work themselves, I just realized that this was in some ways intentional. And thinking about it as intentional, it's not really a judgment, but it's an understanding that as a historian, we have particular agendas. And the agendas of previous historians before me may not have been to answer questions related to Black women's work and activism, but that was my agenda. And so in understanding that that was my agenda, I was particularly attuned to seeing and then highlighting and then understanding and further researching the Black women that I saw in the record. So no, they were not absent. They had just not been seen.